I'm going to listen to Arab Strap. I'm totally fine with it, don't give a F anymore, which to me is certainly an album of the month, and as far as I know, not a massive expert, the best Arab Strap album that there is. It is amazing and you should listen to it as I'm about to. Track 1, A La SALA or something, but anyway, whatever it's called, it's a bloody good roaring starter. The guitars are louder than I'm used to with Arab Strap, and the band is out and the voice sounds good, and it's nice to have them back, and it's a great track 2, Bliss. And I love the difference between track 1 and 2. This goes into sort of like a disco stomper, could be like a slightly out there Pet Shop Boys, but what a band they are, and always interesting to listen to. The vocals are just as important as track 3, Social Meter Blues. I like drum beat. It might be drum beat of the year so far. It's amazing how you can hear a new drum beat after listening to so much music that I do, but this is a good one, and it's a good song, and it's a good album, and you should get involved. Track 4, Hold Your Fires, classic Arab Strap that I haven't got too much to say about, and track 5, Summer Season, is a highlight for me. Lovely piano loop, and not for the first time. I think there are similarities between these guys and Sleaford Mods in a way. I bet people like track 6, Molehills. Not a great song, a bit boring until the last minute, which has got to be the best outro on the album. And then track 7, Strawberry Moon. I really like the sort of hip-hop beat with the real punk bass. Track 8, You're Not There, a ballad, and I miss the drummer. I like the drummer in this band so much that I miss them. He's back on track 9 in a pretty straightforward way, which is an okay song, but maybe a little bit of a dip in the album for me. Track 10, Safe and Well. It's funky. It could be Richard Dawson on Peasant or something like that. It's quite nice, actually. It's quite a nice time to come, and it makes you step back and contemplate. But I want more of the rocky stuff. Come back, drummer. Track 11, my favourite, Drag Queen. He is a man from the UK, in his 50s, slightly frustrated, harps on about the past all the time. What could we possibly have in common? 12th and final track, Turn Off the Light. A nice ending to the album. It's sort of a more laid-back one, everybody sing along at the end of the night type of affair, with a really nice big outro that you're just about to hear. My overall review of Arab Strap, I'm totally fine with it, don't give an F anymore, is that it is, when it rocks, it really rocks, and I enjoy the rocks. The rest sounds like a good Arab Strap album, but there's something about this rockiness that is a path I'd love them to go. I'm going to listen to Blue Bendy, So Medieval, and I really like this album. Definite album of the month contender, and a proper lead singer. Unlike one that I've seen for a while, very impressive. Track 1, so it starts with So Medieval. You can just tell talent sometimes. Just within seconds of the first noise that comes out of the mouth is, you know you've got something special here, and the band rocks as well. Stick with this one. Track 2, Mr. Bubblegum. I will probably say this again, but I think it's my favourite track. It's got a nice little Richard Dawson keyboard in there in the middle. They're throwing everything into the kitchen sink. Yeah, he sounds a bit like Morrissey. He sounds a bit like David Gedge from The Wedding Present as well. Slowing things down a bit, track 3, Darp. Again, such nice production. Everything working. What a band in absolute unity and going in different places, so they must practice a lot. Track 4, The Beautiful Darp 2, stroke Exorcism. It is just such a beautiful song, so heartfelt. Again, David Gedge from The Wedding Present would be proud of that longing, that loving. It's everything's in that record. Beauty. Track 5, I'm sorry, I Let Him Bleed, just sort of washed over me for the first time on this album, but track 6, it is my favourite. I'm absolutely sticking with this. The Day I Said You Died, He Lives. This is epic. This is music the way it should. Track 7, Come On Baby Dig. Didn't really notice it, never really noticed it after 10 listens, but Sunny, a little 2-minute pop joy. It really, really is, and it's so nice in the album, and it really does bring it back to a small. Track 9, Cloudy, looks like the hit, 50,000 listeners, it's not enough. The big, long ballad, crescendo, Let It Be, arms in the air, probably played last in the set. La, 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 off we go. What a brilliant night that's been. 10th and final track, Good Night Bobby. Heart-crunchingly beautiful ending to the album. What a band, what a lead singer. Stop listening to me, stick this album on from start to finish and have a bloody... So my overall review of Blue Bendy So Medieval is that I love it. Definitely one of the best albums this month, potentially for the year. There's a couple of dip tracks, but all in all, what a talent. You know, if you like Clientele, that kind of thing, we've got a special... Going to listen to Ekko Astral, Pink Balloons, bit of rock and roll, 35 minutes of power, mainly anyway. I really like this. I don't think it's an album of the month. I might change my mind on my 10th listen, but it's well worth your time and a good bit of rock. Track 1, Head Empty Blues. That's a good noisy opener, that is. That's a call to arms. Hints of Pixies mainly, but you know, a little bit Nirvana, a little bit Hole, all sung by the lead singer of X-Ray Specs, Polystyrene. I mean, that is a good combination and a brilliant start. Track 2, Beethoven, proper energy there. Again, Pixies, Surfer Rosa, they would have been proud of that, making it at that time. It's got that real drive to it that the Pixies had in those early days. I'm really impressed with this. Track 3, Uwa type beat, bit more Sonic Youth this one, so different enough from the first two to keep you very much engaged, but still in the same style of full-on rock and roll. This is music to my ears this morning, just what I needed. Track 4, The Epic, On Brand, was a favourite song for me on the first listen, and every time I've heard it 10 times later it just gets better and better. In a better universe, musical universe, this is a hit. This is a great record and something you should listen to. Track 5, Somewhere in the Bottom of the River, is sort of like a noodly spoken word piece, which is short enough to keep you interested and a bit different. And then 6, again, Make Me Young, very different, sort of like Bell and Sebastian pop. Brilliant. Track 7, Sticks and Stones, this is what they're good at. Back to the Noise, again, Sonic Youth, you know, would have been proud of this in Goo days or even a little bit earlier. This is immense, this is a noise, and I want to see this band live. Come and play Prague. Track 8, Buffaloed, more great noise. They called themselves Mascara Mosh Pit, which I get actually. I mean, they look brilliant. They look like a cool band to be in. I mean, I'm too old to be in them, but yeah, just an all-round groovy sound. Track 9, Deborah. I said Hole earlier. They just sound like Hole. This maybe the Breeders. I haven't said the Breeders yet. An obvious comparison maybe, and they're a little bit harder, but there is definitely a love for that era in this music. So therefore, I love them. Track 10, Burning Alive on K Street, pleasant enough instrumental build up to the epic last track, I-90, which I really like. Again, how Pixies is that, but quite anthemic, different enough to be interesting and the same enough to know it's... Track 5, Somewhere in the Bottom of the River, is sort of like a noodly spoken word piece, which is short enough to keep you interested and a bit different. And then 6, again, Make Me Young, very different, sort of like Bell and Sebastian pop. Brilliant. Oh, Fishmans long season. Who would have thought that the best piece of music I would hear this year is Japanese from 1996, one track, and it's just perfect in every way. I am so excited. The first minute, mellow start with a lovely bit of bass, a little bit building around it. It's the build up to so much good stuff, a hell of a journey that I'm just about to go on, and if I don't hear this album every day, I get grumpy now. And then after a mellow bit on 2:25, this happens. And then I have to stand up. I will be dancing for the rest of this song now. Sometimes well, sometimes badly, but I will be dancing. And then on about 4:30ish, the voice comes in. It's in Japanese, don't understand it, but I love it. And it's a great voice, and the drums, and they're a band, and they make brilliant music, and you're on the start of an incredible journey. Up until about 9 minutes, we have a sort of Stone Roses Fool's Gold type beat, and just everything that comes in and makes it build adds something special to it. Then it chills out a bit from then on, just for a... Up to 12 minutes, comes back in and speeds up. What we've had here, we've had the bum, 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 bum piano introduced, which is very, very welcome and very nice. We've had some brilliant singing, lots of screaming even. It's up to 17 minutes and chance for a sit down. It goes all experimental on us. I have danced to this before actually, you can sway about to it quite nicely. It's just what the album needs at exactly the right time. You know that hook's coming back though, don't you? Up until about 20 minutes, 30, it goes proper balmy, loopy. Almost unlistenable. A lot of people may turn it off at this stage, but don't, because you need these bits of harshness to make the smooth sound so good. Stick with. And then after all that madness, we've got the Beatles. We've got Wonderwall by Oasis, but better. La 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 La. You know, this 34 minutes has got everything you need in music, and this is proof. And then after a glorious lo-fi sing-along and a bit of lovely noise, there's that piano again. There's that piano again. I will be dancing to the last 8 minutes of this and not be thinking of you and only myself. I'm going to... End of the song. What a journey. What a journey. Just everything you need. This is the one I want to go viral. This is the one that, not for me, although subscribers are nice, I want everybody in the world to hear this song. So my overall review of Fishmans' long season is once in a while a piece of music comes along that life-changing. And this last one was Lil Yachty last January. This is a game changer for me, and it's 30 years old. I'm going to listen to Iron and Wine, Light Verse. I'm a big fan of Iron and Wine, been with them on the whole journey. The first couple of albums were especially brilliant in my eyes. Since then, like them but not love them, and I'm afraid this is probably the same, but great. Track 1, You Never Know. It's like meeting an old friend in a pub. It's nice to see them sounding, looking so well, if a little sad, but they're always a little bit sad if they're Iron and Wine. He can still change your emotion on a string from sad to happy, just as he's done in that chord change. Track 2, Anyone's Game. It's the effortless songwriting that you've got to love about him, like Simon and Garfunkel. You know, they just seem to write these songs that are so easy and lovely on the ear. This is a step up in tempo-wise, but great. Track 3, All in Good Time. A little bit like an up-to-date Islands in the Stream with Fiona Apple. And she sounds brilliant on this. She's sort of peerless. Who doesn't love a bit of Fiona Apple? Karaoke classic. This should be a karaoke classic. Track 4, Cutting It Close. First time I made the comparison, but it sounds like Sub John Stevens. I guess they were around about the same time. Whether they know each other or were an influence on each other, who knows? But I hope they were. They're both special. Sub John wins though. Track 5, Taken by Surprise, a real highlight for me. Maybe favourite track, maybe this is track 8. Just the beauty. His voice sounds absolutely incredible on this, as good as it's ever sounded. It's even got a lot of jazzy feel, but this is what he's good at. Telling a story, grabbing. Track 6, Yellow Jacket. There isn't a bad track on this album actually, perhaps I'm underestimating it. It is as good as the old stuff. Nice mellow number, orchestral all the way through with the Beatles-esque big finish, which is well worth every moment of your time. Track 7, Sweet Talk. Again, so effortless. What another highlight for me. What a beautiful song. It's a hit in any language. It's Bob Dylan, it's Donovan, it's the Beatles again. It's just happiness personified. Track 8, Tears That Don't Matter, my favourite track. I don't think I've ever heard him sound so epic. It is, it's huge. This is a huge song. It's a long song, it's got everything. And you just need to listen to it, I reckon. Track 9, Bag of Cats, after track 8. It's an acoustic number that I'm too busy thinking about track 8, doesn't do enough for me. But track 10, it goes out with more of a whimper than a bang, but they've got their money's worth from the orchestra on this track, and it's just pure beauty like the rest. My overall review of Iron and Wine, Light Verse, is that it's as good as he's ever made. It really is a wonderful piece of music. The production values, the songwriting to die for, it's just a wonderful listen from beginning to end. I'm going to listen to Justice, Hyperdrama. You probably know Justice. Funky, dancey, electronic, sort of daft punky. Usually come up with the goods, and they have done again. This is a really, really good album with some great guests on it as well. Track 1, Never Ender. Sounds like Tame Impala. That's because it is Tame Impala with Justice, but it also sounds like Justice, and you know that we're on for a good album. They're not changed direction in many ways. They want to keep you on the dance floor. They want to keep you going. It's a good, solid start. Track 2, Generator. I'm disappointed with this as track 2. I like track 2 being the belter, and me, just a little bit too intrusive. It's sort of trying to be the Chemical Brothers. It doesn't quite have their usual funk and groove and polishedness, and it don't like it. Track 3, After Image. Not blown away, saved by some 80s big synths, but One Night, All Night, the second track with Tame Impala, is a proper good song. I like this one. It sounds like Tame Impala again, but that's a good thing because I like Tame Impala. Track 5, Dear Alan. That's more like it, boys. I really, really like this song. It sounds like classic Justice. It's got that bass line, that drums, and when it's just the two together and then it builds into the full track, that's what Justice are good at. It's a formula, but it's a... Track 6, Incognito. That's 3 songs on this album in a row that have been really, really strong now. This has got a lovely prog rock intro for the first 30 seconds with a live band, which goes into this absolute barnstormer of a belter that you're listening to in the background. Track 7, Mannequin Love. Them at their most poppy and wonderful. What a lovely song this is. And again, they're not in it this time, but it just sounds like Tame Impala. The influence is there. Just what they do best. Just give this album a listen. It's on a good roll. Track 8, Moonlight Rendezvous, is sort of like a Kenny G small bit that didn't do much for me, but if I love anything more than Tame Impala, it's Conan Moccasin. And to hear him on this is fantastic, and it's a favourite track of mine because he's on it and he's genius. Track 10, Muscle Memory, is a proggy one. ELP would have been proud of that one. 11's the same track, don't know why it's a separate track, and then 12 is a hit. I mean, that is just Daft Punk. NERD would be very, very proud of this. It's got a lovely feel. Last track, track 13, the appropriately named The End. They've got Thundercat involved now. I love Thundercat more than I love Tame Impala, not as much as Conan Moccasin, but what they pick their guests so well. But I'm a little bit disappointed with this track. My overall review of Justice, Hyperdrama, it wasn't going to be an album of the month, but on that listen it has to be. There's too much good stuff on it. It gets off to a stuttering start. Not overly impressed with the second and third tracks, but there is such good highs on here. Give it a I'm going to listen to Kamasi Washington, Fearless Movement. Certainly an album of the month and potentially an album of the year. It is just epic. I'm agnostic, but if there's a higher being, they like music like this and they make music like this. Track 1, Les Anu, straight into a prayer, spoken word, and then the music opens up to the heavens. It's Alice Coltrane, it's Charlie Mingus, it's probably most obviously Miles Davis, Bitches Brew, that era, but it's bang up to date and just such a pleasure on the ear. Track 2, Asher the First, and what a track 2. What a perfect track 2 that is, uncompromising. It's timeless. They'll be listening to this in 1,000 years and still think it's amazing. I genuinely believe that. It is like so little music at the moment. Listen to it. Track 3, Computer Love, not a Kraftwerk cover, sadly. That would have been just too perfect. A lovely sort of Princey, ballady. It's got such lovely ups and downs, this. You know, this is a mellow listen that everybody would like, not too taxing, but so welcome it. Track 4, The Visionary, is just like the doors of heaven opening up to you. And then track 5, Get Lit, with George Clinton. So yeah, you've got that P-Funk feel, which again fits in so well with the rest of the album. Different but the same. Quite Kendrick, I suppose. Track 6, Dream State, with Andre 3000, apparently. I don't think he raps, that I remember. Beautiful. It's like Herbie Hancock, Chameleon, sort of Headhunters era, but with a nice little boop, 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 boop electronics in the background. Track 7, Together, maybe for the first time not fully engaged, but sort of happy of the rest. Whereas track 8, The Garden Path, you can't help but be engaged. Another favourite. This and track 2, Back to the Heavens, back to hands in the air, mind in the air. Track 9, Road to Self, KO, the obligatory, and it is written into jazz law that you have to do the slow jam where every single band member gets a little bit. I particularly like the drum solo. I always look forward to a drum solo being a solo, but what a band, what a sound. Track 10, Interstellar Peace, The Last Dance. What a thing of beauty this is. Could be an old TV 60s detective theme tune, you know, a really cool one that's just brilliant. It's just amazing music that opens up the mind. Track 11, Lines in the Sand, more stunningly beautiful jazz, you'll be not surprised to hear. I think I first became aware of him via Flying Lotus, and this track reminds me of him quite a lot, which is a good thing, and you should check him out. Nearly 90 minutes, but it flies by this. 12th and final track, Prologue. How do you end the perfect album? You end it perfectly, and this really is. What a heart-pounding finish. You know, you can imagine it live. I hope they play this last, because I will be seeing them hopefully in Munich. Just amazing. My overall review of Kamasi Washington, Fearless Movement, is that it could well very be my favourite album of the year so far. It's a 90-minute epic, fun, sad, happy, every emotion comes out in this, and it's amazing. Album of the month potential, Khruangbin, I don't know how you say it, A LA SALA. This is so wonderful and lovely and beautiful. Reminds me of Sade a little bit. That sort of mellow vibe. Just got to be happy with it. Track 1, 1553. You're just in a different world. You just stick it on and off you go. Drifting off somewhere very pleasant. This is not aggressive. This is lovely. This is haunting and beautiful, and you just want to go there. Track 2, May 9th, by Jiminy. That is beautiful. Quite Conan Moccasin, even. Not sure where they're from, actually. Funny old name, isn't it? But it just, again, sends you to a place that you can't help but be happy. Please go there. Come there with me. Track 3, Adagene. I'd fight for easy listening. Easy listening to me is the most underrated type of music. And although this has got rocky guitar-y elements and isn't classical, it is. And there is nothing wrong with easy listening. This is beautiful. What a beautiful landscape. Country feel. Track 4, Faralinda something, sort of reminding me of Dire Straits a bit, sort of a bridge track though. But track 5, this one, Pon Pon, this is like Ethiopian jazz at its best. It's so funky, there's so much going on, what a bass line. Track 6, Tadovia Viva, more beauty. I mean, the bass line, the funk on that. They're American, apparently. I was going down the French route because this track reminded me of Air a little bit. But it's just bang after hit. Track 7, Wagos Ye Noobs, sort of first track to wash over me. But track 8, Hold Me Up, Thank You, is just a wondrous piece of music. Herbie Hancock, a la Headhunters era. You know, if you like that, you'll like this. Track 9, Kaja de Sala, is a build-up track to my favourite track on the album. The beautiful, haunting track 10, 3 from 2. If you listen to one track, listen to this one. It's got everything you need. Then maybe a slightly disappointing end to the album. Track 11, I Love International, didn't do a lot for me, a bit ploddy in comparison to the rest. And the last track, they decided to go out with a whimper rather than a kabang. And it's a beautiful whimper, and it's lovely, but maybe I wanted more for last. My overall review of Khruangbin A LA SALA is that it's an album of the month, nailed on. It's absolutely beautiful. You cannot put this on and not enjoy it. That's my challenge to you. Tell me I'm wrong. So much to love, so mellow. I'm going to listen to WILLOW, Empathogen. It's a really good pop album. Is it pop? It's a bit of everything. It reminds me of Kate Bush, strangely. Not in sound, but in talent. I think we've got a major talent alert here. It could be an album of the month. Track 1, Home with John Baptiste. Core. It's the voice. It's that voice. Liquid gold, that voice is. And the music's brilliant as well. It's eclectic. If it is pop, it's the best quality pop, even sort of Beyonce level. You know, that good. Track 2, Ancient Girl, not what you expect, sort of a folky number, acoustic guitar, and just some amazing singer. Sounds like Buffy St. Marie or somebody like that, you know, from that era. Just goes in such good directions, this album. Track 3, The Simply Wondrous Symptom of Life, really does everything. I said Kate Bush at the beginning, and if this was the new Kate Bush single, it would be #1 forever. It's got that kind of special music feeling. Track 4, The Fear Is Not Real. Maybe at the beginning of this song you feel, okay, well it's not all absolute belters then because it's a slow start, but by the end of the song, it's just, you're funking away, you're grooving away, you can't help but have a good time. Love it. Track 5, False Self, probably the purest pop so far. Could be Katy Perry or somebody like that, but her at her absolute best. Not a highlight for me, I'll be honest, but I think it might be for others, and it should be a single, and it should get more people listening. Track 6, Pain for Fun, featuring St. Vincent. One of them, I don't know which one it is, sounds exactly like Karen Carpenter. Not many people can do that with their voice. Two beautiful singers singing beautifully together. I think this is a better album than the St. Vincent one, though, even though track 7, No Words 1 and 2 is 1 minute 24 of just absolute amazingness, like Saya Gray at her most balmy, and then a nice little mellow track 8, Down, which is a nice little lounge sound coming into this track next. Track 9, Run. For the first time, that doesn't land with me. Everything's right about it, but there's something about it that doesn't quite go with me. But track 10, Between I and She, it's just like having a brilliant band with the best lead singer in the world. She's great. Track 11, I Know That Face, nice little jazzy number, which could have like Thundercat on bass, that kind of sound. And then Going Out with a Bang, hooray, rather than a whimper. Track 12, final track, Big Feelings, big song, big ending, big out. My overall review of Willow, Empathogen, is that it's got to be an album of the month. It's that good. There is so much to enjoy. It whizzes by in no time because there's always something engaging and great. Listen to it. As good a sound like this I've heard.